Oh, what? We'll just stay. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
We're good.
you should be able to see that. Okay, so this probably will be used as an online interview as well as like a live interview, because I was thinking to use it for my Metalheads Balls, YouTube show I did a long time ago now. I think it's a year ago. Oh my God, the time's flying. Anyway, so for everybody or anybody who's watching this one, I want to introduce you, my mate Ian Berling from, and I don't know where you reside now, because the Metal Archives give me some information, but I don't know where you're currently hailing from.
Oh, all right. Well, check this out, man. I'm in Binghamton, New York.
Oh, nice one.
Uh, yeah, kind of a smaller town. But yeah, I did. I grew up in Virginia, in St.
Oh,
Louis, Missouri.
take me home, country road. Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, all over, man.
Okay, so the very current question is no cough,
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
no cough.
No,
No.
no, none
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I'm asking because I have the note here that you were in the, where it is. It's here. Oh, here it is. That you are or you were in the band called Heavy Cough. So this is why I'm asking.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Yep, that
yeah,
was a really brief project. I don't think we ever
yes.
did
So
anything live.
we will talk about that. Yeah. So obviously, I was surprised, to see when I was doing a research for this interview, to see how many bands or projects you were involved with, because I'm not gonna count them. But first of all, how did you get into the underground? Any some cellar trapdoor or something?
Well, you see, I was honestly, I started off, a kind of bored high school kid on MySpace. You know what I mean? And
Wait,
I
yeah.
had a local friend of mine that we were kind of doing like a sort of like a hardcore punk sort of almost grindcore thing. Like we were like 15 at the time, and we were trying to play grindcore, but weren't 100% sure what it sounded like.
So experimental, yeah.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And I met a bunch of people in the noise grind scene through
Yeah.
MySpace, and ended up just starting a bunch of strange one-off like recording projects, and that's
Well,
really how I got my start.
yeah, I would say that that's a good idea if you don't know what you're playing, so you can always say experimental and it goes. Yeah, and I see that you were established in more brutal genres, because obviously when we talk in like extreme metal, extreme metal is like a death metal or thrash metal, So people say like okay, but when we say like a more brutal, so I see like a porn grind, noisecore, there's a brutal death slam, grindcore punk, gore noise, and some I don't even know. So you need to tell me. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. Anal gore. What can you tell us about that?
Anal gore. Oh man! All right, so anal gore was a oh boy, we started as anal rip. And
Yeah, because yeah, it's so. Let me clarify this. So anal rip and anal gore was like the same project but two different names.
Sort of, yeah, yeah. Anal Rip was the original version, and it was basically just me with a drum machine putting everything as fast as humanly possible,
Yeah,
and then just letting it make a constant stream of just terrible white noise.
yeah.
Um,
God.
Doing pitch shifted vocals over that, and I switched it to Anal Gore when I found the guitarist he was from a band called Penile Dementia. Um, Boy, I don't know if they're still around, but they're a like a noisecore band at the time, and I really thought they were cool. And he wanted to do a project, and I wanted to see if I could do something a little more serious with Anal Rip, because it was
Mhm.
at the time it was just me smoking a little bit of weed and just messing around with the drum
Yeah,
machine.
that's how it started. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm thinking now. I didn't ask that before, and I'm gonna ask that. What was actually your very first band?
My very first band. All right, so let's see. My very first project was called Vestron.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, I got it. I got it under the grindcore punk genre.
yeah, Yeah. Well, we weren't exactly sure which way we were leaning. It was basically picture cheesy exploited riffs, but with very confused blast beats over it.
Yeah. Yeah. And with the name Western, I recognize it from the sci-fi movie, but I don't know which one. What was that? What was the movie?
Well, Vestron they're a video production company from the 80s.
Oh no. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
My
they made
bad.
a whole bunch of really cheesy 80s movies. That's like me and my guitarist, well, he was my buddy Josh Drayton.
Yeah.
And that was something we bonded over when we first met, was cheesy horror movies.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we decided
say no more. Yeah, say no more. We're there. Yeah.
Okay. You still there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely here. Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, there you are, man. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or I don't know what's going on.
No worries. Okay, the next one I'm gonna talk about is Raging Shitstorm. I'm gonna grill you now. Believe me or not, I'm gonna grill you.
Yeah.
So Raging Shitstorm, or noisecore project or band.
Yep. Boy, calling it a band's a little bit of a stretch, I want to say. But what Raging Shitstorm is all right. So I'm the oldest out of 4 kids. All right.
Yeah.
And at the time, I wanted to bond with one of my younger brothers and kind of try to get him into the scene a little bit, but he had no idea what it was or what to do, and he was a violinist at the time. And so what I did is I got in front of my computer and got a couple of my textbooks and hooked up a kick pedal to those, and that was my drum set. I just had a pair of drumsticks, a textbook, and a little kick pedal, and I would do blast beats and kind of just go like out of the corner of my mouth, and I'd have a harmonica in the other half of my mouth, and then my little brother would just be sitting there going as fast as he could on the violin, playing basically non-notes. And that was just like a one-off project I did to just bond and hang out with my little brother, because I thought it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, but actually, it sounds cool,
Oh, dude, interesting. We never formally released anything, but we had a MySpace page up with a handful of, I guess you could call them songs that we had recorded. It might still be up there. I haven't checked in a long time, if we're being honest.
MySpace, yeah. Oh, okay. Next one. And I think that I can see the pattern with the band names. It's either anal or something with zombies. Which,
Yeah,
it's okay. So Zombified Horde.
Oh boy, Zombified Horde that's kind of almost that's a little bit of a tragic story almost, man. That was so at the time I wasn't the best at drums. Like I was still learning the double bass, so. I agreed to do drum programming for a friend of mine's slam band. At the time, the guy, I believe, he's from India. Oh God, what was his name? Prithif, I think. He was in a band called Humanoid Transmutation.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really wanted to do something a little more in the brutal death metal vein. And so I got a hold of him, and we set up the I did all the drum programming for, I think, about a 15-minute demo, and I don't know exactly what happened, but we just never got around to finishing the songs, and not much besides a logo, and I think one test recording ended up getting finished.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that one ended up on the Metal Archives, because I think we have a MySpace page with, I think, 2 incomplete recordings with like just drums and guitar. And that's about all it did, really.
Yeah. Okay. Another one is Anal Coma.
Oh, Anal Coma. Oh boy, man, that was one of my favorite projects. If we're being honest. That was another one that me and my buddy Josh did. Josh he was probably one of my best friends back in high school. And we had a lot of projects together. He actually helped me run my record label back in the day as well.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Yes, in a sec. Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, dude, Anal Coma was basically a two-man noise grind project where Josh knew how to play the guitar and I knew how to play the drums, and we
Yeah.
would switch roles.
Oh,
I would go up on the guitar and have no idea what I was doing, and he would sit down on the drums and have no idea what he was doing, and we would both do that and just kind of yell in the microphones and throw things, and that was sort of just what we did.
well, I think it's a good like a qualification for a noisecore band, So good with me, I would say.
No,
Yeah.
definitely, man, definitely.
Then
What do you
obviously
call
we're going down to the deeper underground, as Jamiroquai would say, and it's a Gorgasmic Feces, and it's a
orgasmic?
gore noise project.
Yeah, dude. That was another one of my really early projects where I was just messing around. With that one, I was learning how to use Audacity and was
Audacity.
yeah. I was learning how to use Audacity, and what I would do is I would take really big like radio hits like AC/DC songs and stuff like that, and distort them and stretch them into like half-hour lengths and cut and paste random things here and there, and um, I don't think it'd really be considered gore noise nowadays. Because it's basically just 20 to 30 minute lengths of terrible white noise with me running a pitch shifter over it and gurgling sometimes.
Well, I think I think that it still can count like a gore noise. Anyway, now we go into some stuff, and because obviously Metal Archives didn't say what genres there were, so obviously we were talking about anal rape, and it was like that, and ancient slumber.
Ancient slumber. Oh boy. Okay, so I had an online friend of mine back in the day. His name was John. Really great guy, really interesting dude, very smart. He was real big in the very old school black metal, like Blasphemy and like that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that was me and him trying to mix the speedier, lo-fi blast beat sound of Blasphemy with a chunky like mid-paced riff, sort like really short songs that like say, oh boy, what are those guys called? Oh man, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Goat, fucking not Goat Lord. I'm blanking on it. We were just trying to do like very short mid-paced like death metal songs mixed with very heavy down-tuned blast beat rhythms that Blasphemy would use.
Yeah, like how easy or how hard you find to actually go from genre to genres, because obviously going from gore noise but it's more like experimental stuff, but let's say brutal death slam or grindcore to do a black metal.
Oh, honestly, I've always been a big fan of like a very wide array of genres, and not specifically just metal either. I can honestly say that as far as metal goes, there are bands from probably every individual subgenre out there that I can very comfortably say that I enjoy, and I didn't think it was too difficult at all.
So let me guess. Poison.
Oh, what's up?
Poison.
Poison? It depends if you're talking about the German one or not.
I wouldn't laugh, because there's some songs I like from Poison, yeah. So I'm guilty. So
Oh no, I feel it, man. I feel it.
Yeah. Okay. I will try to spell it. It's apotemnophobia.
Oh, apopmenophobia. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you're better in that. Yeah.
yeah. That was a gore grind project. It was done with I can't remember the fellow's name. This was probably about a decade ago. The guy was in a British band called the Gruesome Twosome.
Oh yeah.
And it was me and him we would stream really low budget zombie movies and watch them on Skype together and make fun of them, kind of like Mystery Science Theater sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we got really inspired to. He was a bass player, and so we did It was basically just drum and bass regurgitate worship, except neither of us were good enough to play regurgitate songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay. Another one, and I think it will be another black metal project of yours is Goat of a Thousand Young.
Oh yeah, Goat of a Thousand Young. That was actually that was me and a different friend of mine. Oh man, I don't think I can remember that guy's name either. These are all we're going through some pretty old projects that
Yeah.
like most of the ones that have the like the labels and the links and stuff. Those ones made it for a while, but a lot of these projects I want to say didn't go for more than a handful of months. This was with a buddy of mine from California who's in a band called Hex. It was basically us just kind of ripping off Nunslaughter.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I might come back to a few of them, but that's a one I want to talk about actually because the name was like, oh my god, you know, it is called We Hate Facts.
Oh boy, yeah.
So give me a second. Did you rip off the anal cunt?
That was totally the plan. Okay, so the whole idea with this, I know it's very bad taste and it looks pretty bad.
It is. Yeah, the moment I saw the title, I was like, you know what, that's anal cunt.
Yeah, exactly. It was. So this was me and my buddy Josh again. We were trying to do. Oh wait, no, we ain't fags. That was me and my friend Seth. Seth is he's a friend of mine I've had since probably third grade now.
Yeah.
He's not a big metal guy. Does a lot of Tool songs and stuff like that. But he's a great guitarist, and you know, it was just a chance for us to hang out and get drunk. And what we would do is, do you know what the Westboro Baptist Church is?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. This is us pretending to be Anal Cunt, but if Anal Cunt was a part of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Actually, that's a neat idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't thought about it, but yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was 100%.
So basically a parody project, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, you know, what is the one thing that no one in the Westboro Baptist Church would appreciate that could be pro Westboro?
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, noise grind. They would totally hate that, even if it was, you know, going for their message. So like, we just thought it was the funniest thing imaginable. And you know, for what it's worth, we were 16 and didn't really realize.
16, I can't imagine myself when I was 16, you know, going that extreme, because with 16 we're talking I was into metal, but not that extreme.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand, man.
That would be just going too far away. Okay, but this is more like, you know, X projects or X band, but I have a couple of you should be still running according to the information I have. So
what's up?
First of all, what about the dissection philiac?
Oh, dissection
or dissection philiac, if you want to be, you know.
Yeah. Dissection philiac is it's like it's improv. It's cool because every member is from a different country. It's me on the drums, our guitarist. Oh my god, I don't remember what his real name is, but you can find him on Facebook as Shitter Putridity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
for the real name, yeah.
Yeah.
So what style or genre are you playing?
It was just a very harsh improv gore grind. Picture like purulent sperm canal, like something like that, like the Mexican really lo-fi gore grind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All like 10-15-second songs, very splattery and
Is there any recording of it?
Yeah, let's see, we did 2 demos. The band isn't necessarily active right now, but none of us have ever talked about breaking it up. So it's still together. We're just not. It's more on the back burner than anything else.
On hold. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I haven't been in contact with the other 2 members in a little while, but I'm absolutely certain that if I got a hold of them through email or Facebook and was just like, you guys feel like doing another demo, that they would completely be down.
Yeah.
I should probably do
Okay.
it.
And for anybody listening or watching this interview, I would like to say that the reason we got together and when we were talking about over the Facebook, which I think is a really cool thing to see to do, because usually people they're on the Facebook on just sharing memes and all the stuff, but as you can see, you can find pretty cool people on there as well. And we were talking about your Doom Dead band or Doom band called I can't pronounce that. Xvart.
Fart.
Yeah, Xvart.
Fart, like fart with an X.
Yeah, Xvart. And I wanted to ask about the name. Did it come from Baldur's Gate?
Actually, that's exactly where it came from. I grew up Baldur's Gate when I was probably 11 or 12 was my favorite game of all time. Like hands down, the best video game I'd ever played. And and I really wanted to do a Death Doom band, but I didn't want to specifically. I had so many like gore and violence themed projects, and it was like starting to get a little too much for me. I like to think of myself as a pretty lighthearted, easygoing kind of guy, and it was all the focus on gore and death. I wanted to do something a little different that time, and so naming it after the little blue guys from Baldur's Gate, and then all the lyrical themes be around like fantasy, and I think I wrote a song about the Loch Ness monster at some point.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Oh yeah, dude, I am a big cryptozoology guy. I don't know how much of it I believe, but it's a lot of fun to read about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, cryptozoology. I got some books about it. So yeah, I'm pretty knowledgeable about that. Not like being expert, obviously, but yeah, I know about that.
Oh yeah,
and I think that your current band, we can talk about it a little bit. It's Zombie Raiders.
Yep.
I would say that this is your main band now, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, man. It's I think it's always kind of been my main project, but it's interesting that it's my main project, but it's always existed more as an excuse for just to connect with other people in the underground, to get everybody else. Like, I really like working with as many people as I can. Honestly, I think it's a lot of fun to reach out to all sorts of different people.
Oh, there's a point. There's a point of underground, the network,
Yeah, man. And so, for the first probably 3 or 4 years or so of Zombie Raiders, I think I had about 20 different members. We were all just I was trying to fit so many different people into the project that it just didn't work out quite right. You know what I mean? Dude, and I think around 2012, 2013, I met my buddy Jared. I was actually trying to get him to put a CD out through a record label I was working on. The same one that's on the archives, And he ended up joining and covering literally everything but the drums. I think the only thing I do now are the drums and the lyrics.
Oh well, that's enough, So you can't complain, definitely. And other than that, obviously Zombie Raiders. I got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other stuff, and it's pretty much everything in the genre. It's Slithis, if this is pronounced like that, or Slithis, I don't know. Because
it's
so this is another it is a harsh noise experimental, put like that, and I would say it's like this horror centered stuff, because obviously Slithis is a movie.
The Italian movie. That's what we named it after, definitely. That was another project with me and my buddy Josh. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Josh actually passed away a few years ago.
Yeah, you mentioned it, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, big shame. He was, I think he was a month away from graduating the local university with a psychology degree. Big tragedy, man. I really missed the guy.
That's sad, yeah, but that's life, you can't change it, yeah.
Oh no, definitely, man. But I just wanted to make it a point to
Yeah.
mention Fred that he's a big reason why ended up getting into these styles of music. You know what I mean? Going into high school, I always loved the low budget horror movies, but
Oh yeah.
I think maybe I had a little bit of a questionable taste in music back then, and he helped, me kind of like refine it and show me a lot of the cool bands that I ended up getting really into.
Define questionable taste.
You still there, man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that then?
Yeah. Define questionable taste.
Well, I think I was struggling to get rid. I was starting to find a lot of cool bands. Like at this point, I had already heard like Regurgitate, Impetigo, stuff like that. I'd already known and was kind of familiar with, but I was still listening to a lot of not as good projects. A lot of oh boy, what was I really liked Trivium back in the day, and they're like, I can't say I'm a big fan of them nowadays, but a lot of like metalcore and deathcore is like what I had known from middle school, and that was like a big transition.
You're aware of the fact that I reviewed New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block?
Yeah, I reviewed it on my website, so.
Oh my God! No, I didn't know that.
And also I reviewed the debut album of Britney Spears. So that's how can you go? With the metalcore would be still okay. Yeah, but I like it to listen to Britney Spears. I have no problem with that.
Oh no, definitely, man. Yeah, no, like I said, I listen to all sorts of stuff outside the metal genre as well. I'm a big fan.
I just want to mention it like basically for a laugh, because obviously a lot of people like try to be like a big hardcore guys. I'm so tough guy and whatever. I have no problem to put a Backstreet Boy, in the CD player if I feel like that.
Oh man, yeah, I feel that. You put on some Destiny's Child, I'll sit there and sing along like I'm fucking 10 again. I feel you.
Yeah. Okay, we mentioned it in the beginning. So Heavy Cough, it's stoner death doom.
Yeah, and this is I'm fairly surprised to see that on there, because that was more of a that project never really made it out of the rehearsal phase. Really, that was me and a local friend of mine named Derek, who was in the process of learning the bass at the time, and we would just kind of jam out and do some very simple Black Sabbath covers, stuff like that. And we had I think one very slow kind of Thor's Hammered inspired sort of track that we were working on and wanted to get recorded, but
yeah. So anyway, whoever put that information up on the Metal Archive must be a real fan of yours.
Oh yeah, man! It must have been either me, myself, or one of my good friends around here. Honestly, dude, Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's probably about a dozen people in the world that know about the band Heavy Cough that it ever existed.
Well, that's what make it so cool,
Oh yeah. It comes out on floppy disk only, man.
Yeah. Now, old school hardcore. You mentioned that before, but it's a Smoke Crack.
Oh, Smoke Crack. Yeah, that was another project I did with my buddy Josh. That was we had gotten very heavily into oh my God, I think we're starting to listen to bands like Kickback and Earth Crisis, and we were.
Well, with a name like that, I wouldn't guess Minor Threat.
Oh yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because obviously Minor Threat, they were starting like a straight edge, so Smoke Crack. I don't think that they will go with that.
No, dude, we thought that was really funny, because we were mainly inspired by straight edge bands, but we wanted to do we wanted to be the straight edge. We wanted to be the I Hate God of straight edge hardcore.
Yeah.
That makes any sense to you. I don't know how else to explain that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I got it. Okay, last two, as for a band, related, Nachtreuer. I think it's pronounced as is a depressive black metal.
Yep. Oh God, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that either. That was honestly, I basically did studio session work for that. I was a session drummer for for like a 3-song demo, I want to say. I'm not sure if that ever got released, and I can't say for sure if they did anything beyond that, but that was a friend of mine's project, and it's interesting because that project started out as a like a parody black metal sort of project, like a very jokey thing, and he had wanted to take it more serious, and when he wanted to take it more serious, that was when I ended up popping in on the drums. I was just really desperate to play. I'm a big black metal fan, and I was just desperate to do basically any form of black metal. So, any opportunity I got, I was just like, yep, let me have it.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask, and how did I skip that? Yeah. So there's a band called Ithaca, and you were also responsible for the lyrics for the song called Ithokta, which I think I wouldn't be mistaken if I said it was a Lovecraft inspired.
Oh yeah. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan, man. I'm a literature major.
I love.
Yeah, dude. I love reading. I love all sorts of stuff. Like Julio de Cortázar, Lovecraft, Borges. All the good classic kind of weird sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and any chance I get to
you inspire me to show you, because obviously when we're talking Lovecraft.
Oh, cool, man.
This is what I bought myself for the last Christmas. Yeah, so we're definitely on the same page.
That's awesome, man. I have that same book, I believe.
Yeah, so yeah, we're definitely there. So obviously, I was like, when I saw the title for the lyrics, say, okay, I got that. That's a reference straight from the book.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So basically, if you just guess how many releases and actual releases you're on, and if somebody is like interested to see or to hear what you were playing, back then, how many releases are there, if you just can guess, because obviously it would be probably
as far as, let's see, we did one demo with Ancient Slumber, 2 demos with Dissection Philiac. One of them is called Semen Drenched Human Leftovers. You can find that one on YouTube. Yeah, that one's definitely on YouTube. Let's see. There's a band, Progressing to Putrefaction. We have an EP that's on YouTube. Xvart, the Death Doom band. We have all right. So generally, I'd guess probably about 15 releases total that you can hear me on, and 12 of those, I want to guess, are from projects that are personally mine, and with the other 3 being session drums. Like I did session work for a band called Rectal Twat.
Yeah, I got it here as the. Yeah, I got it. Session guest appearances on the Rectal Twat. Yeah, and blasphemation and humanoid transmutation.
Yep, humanoid.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Yes. Yeah. And also, I got you as a lyricist for a demoniacal possession in Rejoice in Blasphemy demo.
Oh, yep. That was supposed to be a full-length album. It was supposed to be oh boy, what was that record label? They worked with the band Thronum a lot. It's like No Life or No, I don't remember what it was, man. But that was supposed to be a full-length album, and that was a project from my friend John, who was John was the guy I started Zombie Raiders with initially. He was on the very first Zombie Raiders split, and he's the guy who does vocals for all of the Xvart material also.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was his one-man blackened kind of death metal sort of project. A very, very, very cavernous, very caveman-like, very primitive. It's a lot of fun, though. And I'm pretty sure that's up on YouTube as well.
Oh, I need
Boy,
to.
I'm gonna double check that. If it's not, I'm gonna upload that if he doesn't care. I'll email him about that because that's a really fun demo.
Yeah. Okay. Another question, and we finally go into this record label. You were a co-owner. And excuse my Italian, is a Pavelia record or something like that.
Yep, Pavelia. It's
What does it mean?
Pavelia is an island right off of Italy that they used for a long time to quarantine Black Plague victims. Yeah, and they would basically just ship them out there in mass and just leave them there to starve and die. And eventually, they ended up building a mental hospital in the 1920s on that island, and all sorts of crazy things happened.
Now, when you mentioned that, I think I read about that. Well, I might get mistaken for this island or what is near in New York or something like that. You know, as well near Europe, near New York, there was something like that also with some typhoid plague or whatever. Yeah, but but it sounds familiar now when you mentioned that. And I checked that, you know, and although it showed that you signed with the 4 bands, and you actually released 2 bands, and it was a Decrepituff and Shrouded.
Yep. Yeah, dude. We had a lot of stuff planned, honestly. Oh, yeah. And, well, you know, we were just high school kids at the time, 15, 16, not terribly responsible.
That's actually pretty cool, you know, in a 15-year-old, you know, and starting the label, you know, so.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah. Well, I got so invested into it. When I found out about this, the whole style of music, like the old school death metal, the grindcore, the really grim black metal and all that stuff, like, I just got so into it. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, wow, man, this is really it's the musical equivalent of like a horror film, good or bad. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I totally got into it, and I wanted to work with the up and coming bands that I thought were really cool, and that was just the only way I could figure out how to do it was to get a hold of them online and see if they'd let me put out a CD or something, just anything I could do.
And so you did.
Oh, I tried my best. We tried our best, definitely. This is me and Josh were the co-owners. We were the.
Why did you shut it down?
Well, we all right. So with the Decrepituff release, we did, I believe, 500 copies of it, and it did pretty well. It sold pretty well.
It's a great band, you know. So.
Oh yeah, Decrepituff are so much fun. Wayne from Decrepituff is like one of the coolest guys. He's such a friendly dude. A little crabby, but he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he didn't respond to my message, so unfortunately I couldn't talk to him. But yeah, I might. One never knows.
Yeah, definitely, man. That'd be really interesting to see if he remembered us. We put out that CD quite a while ago. It'd be really interesting to see what he'd have to say about them in hindsight.
I need to ask him. Definitely, I will.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, and the other band was a Shrouded.
Yeah. And Shrouded was a 2-man project, I believe, with Wayne from Decrepituff.
Yeah.
And oh boy, I can't remember his name. He's the vocalist from Hooded Menace, vocalist and guitarist.
I can't remember.
The one guy that's been with Hooded Menace for like the whole thing.
Nice one.
Last season.
But anyway, the question is, how do you find all the time, you know, to do all the stuff? Because I wouldn't be able to do like a 1/10 of it, you know. So how do you find time?
Oh boy, well, you know, it's a little trickier nowadays, honestly. But back when I had like those 10 to 15 different projects going, it was really a matter of just I was a pretty lazy high school kid who just hung out in his house and smoked weed a lot. So I would just hang out and get bored and be like, you know, I really like this music. Let's see if I can find one person on the internet that wants to do this music too, and let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, that's a good approach. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You know, okay. I just had a lot of time on my hands back then.
Okay, I remember in '90s, you know, when I was starting to, you know, to look in the underground scene, and I see like American scene was like, oh my god, you know, so many great bands to this day, obviously. How does the underground scene in your area look like?
Honestly, it didn't really look that amazing for a little while. It was mainly, pretty average, similar sounding hardcore bands. But over the past, I want to say 5-6 years or so, it's really grown quite a bit. There's a whole lot of really fun local grindcore projects, a couple local harsh noise projects that are a blast.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. Let's see. I've got a couple of good friends of mine that are playing in a band called Street Feet. And God, they're great. They're just so much fun to see live. We have a pretty interesting. They just shut down recently, but we had a DIY little area where bands would come and play. It's called FDIY, and I would take my younger siblings out there for like my youngest brother, his very first live show. I pulled him out there, and it was Haggis playing with a couple of local grindcore bands.
Oh my God!
16 and dancing around at a Haggis show, and I'd never been more proud, man. I was just look at you go, little buddy.
Definitely.
But yeah, dude, the scene's doing great right now, honestly.
And as obviously because I run a webzine, so any underground press in your area, like good fanzines or magazines?
Oh, honestly, that's the one thing I think we're kind of lacking. There's one very good local DIY record label called Rat Mix Records, which is run by a pretty good friend of mine, Paul, who also actually, he does drums in a bit. He does drums in Street Feet, and I actually was we were working out a fish-themed gore grind project, a fish pun-themed project. Which,
fish themed.
yeah. I was trying to call it, oh God. What was that? I think it was like Ely Dan or something like that, or I don't remember. The name was kind of cheesy, but we had a couple of fun songs recorded.
It's the point of it to be cheesy, you don't have to be all serious about that,
Well, exactly, man. But what killed that project was a few days after we started rehearsing, I heard a band called Bathtub Barracuda and was like, oh God damn it, they already beat me to it.
Yeah. Shame. It's total.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we got everything covered. I think obviously we could talk for ages now, but for now I would say we covered all the ground I wanted, and I'm pretty sure that we will and sometime continue with this discussion, to see if there's any updates. But I will finish with that question Jared tells me to ask you.
Okay.
Where are these vocals? You're recording for 2 years now.
Oh my God. Yo.
Yeah, he told me to ask. I'm asking that.
Oh, Jared's my man, dude. Oh God. Yeah,
but you know what? You need to record it. Anytime soon. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Actually, just the other day, I finally talked myself into buying a functioning vocal microphone, not like this beat up. I've been using this beat up headset to record my drums on because it really gives it this obnoxious lo-fi caveman quality that I absolutely love.
That's almost done then.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I did just go out and buy a pretty decent one, and now it's just a matter of getting my confidence up well enough to be I'm really gonna make some obnoxious pig squeals and very guttural sounds, and we got this on the way.
That's excellent. Yeah, so obviously I will ask him to let me know, so when you release the new material. So obviously I will have a look and to listen to the stuff. So yeah, and obviously I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank all the listeners or the viewers, because that might go on Facebook or maybe on the YouTube as well. And I'm pretty sure that I see you very soon. Okay, man. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, definitely, dude. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, definitely.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, you have a great day, all right, man?
Yeah, thank you very much. You too. See you later.
No problem. Yeah, see ya.